Hello there, welcome to Abyssia Tarot Reads. Dang, it's been a while. It's been a while since I last did my collective read, right? And I'm actually busy doing another read on Tumblr, which is about sexual energies, and it explores on how you can actually, access your sexual power. And this read has been so traumatizing for me. Traumatizing in the sense that there were a lot of things that came through in this read. FGM, if you know what FGM is, it is a practice that is done in countries like Egypt, Ethiopia. It's among a certain community, right? Among a certain religious community, it is a very popular practice where they circumcise of female genitalia. The way I was led to, like, my research on this topic led me to this disgusting Reddit subreddit, which I don't want to name right now, but I just learned about some of the sick fetishes of people on this earth, right? And I was like, dang, this is gonna be a roller coaster ride, because I cried for like 2-3 days after learning about FGM. I cried for a very long time after learning that some people actually enjoyed um torturing someone to the point of, like, disabilities. It's just so disgusting, the things that I saw. um it scared me, the mindset that was festering in these communities scared the bejesus out of me, right? And I was like, dang, I'm never gonna do this again. It was really scary. um yeah, and because of that, my sexual power read actually ended up being longer than what I expected it to be. And there is a thing about longer reads don't commercialize themselves that well. They are not marketed that well, and that is one of the reasons why I don't like producing long reads, because even though there is some quality in it, it's it's just a lot, and not everybody has the time to read all of that. Not everybody, like, yeah, some people do. And similarly, I don't know, this was the same thing that I was getting, right? I wanted to make a, like, I had a really new idea to, start making shorts on this app, right? And I don't know, for some reason, every single time I'll make a short, the short gets deleted, glitch happens, something wrong happens, I'm not able to save my work. And this is, um I don't know, I don't like this energy at all. I do not like this energy at all, right? And I'm just wondering, why is it that whenever I start a new idea, any new idea, why does it always has to succumb to this light-hearted energy that literally is here to just entertain people? And I don't want to just do the entertainment for the entertainment thing. I want to do something else. I want to transform energies. That is what I want to do. And it's disgusting me. It's literally, all of this light-hearted energy is disgusting me. Three of Cups coming in the sideways definitely gives me that. I'm not saying that light-hearted energies or fun energies is not bad, but at least the frequency in which I am resonating right now. Currently, I want to be in alignment with a lot of shadow work. I want to be in alignment with a lot of healing energies, right? With a lot of healing modalities where people confront themselves for the things that is effing them up. Because, I'll be honest, I'm an Indian. I was born and brought I was like brought up with the conditioning of, licking a white man's shoes or something like that. And it's a very disgusting mindset. It's a very disgusting mindset where you are basically being taught to um, respect people for having a certain type of race and all that shit. Okay, and I did not like it. And I was like, learning to get over this fascination that I have with foreigners, and starting to like learn more and more about my culture and everything else. But damn, the way all of this took a ride for me. Six of Swords upright. Six of Swords upright. Okay, it's Six of Swords in reverse. Hmm. Exactly right. I feel like, and you know why? I'll first let me explain why do I often talk about what has been happening in my life on a daily basis, and then I pull cards. Um, that's because the reason why I do that is that because I am always in between the readings. I'm always like, I will never experience something in my life without like the wisdom and the knowledge of whatever I go through on a daily basis is what goes in my reads. And this wisdom isn't ever like it isn't something that's like, it can be like whatever wisdom I get on a daily basis is what I see happening in my cards. And even if they are new concepts, right, I find them like, I find new concepts through my cards as well. I learn to understand what is going on with people through my cards. So there was this energy, I was talking about FGM and all, right? So I did not know, I knew that FGM was a practice that was practiced among these communities, right? But I did not know that these people actually enjoyed um how do I say this? They enjoyed uh, tearing up the vajayjay of a woman, or they actually enjoyed a bloodied vajayjay while they are having, and they enjoyed torturing a woman. Like, I did not know that these were the things that these people enjoyed, to make a woman submit to their demands. It was not giving sexual pleasure at all. It gave a lot of pain and torture, and I couldn't like sit right there and experience this read and its energy. Because like when I first wrote it, I wrote it, yeah, maybe this is FGM, you can go and research about it. And then later on, I was I have after that I've understood what type of sickening pleasure and torture people go through on a daily basis. And now while editing that read, I have to like put that energy back in. And this is the thing, like whenever I put a content like this, with all these graphic triggers and all these things, it scares the bejesus out of me, because I am writing something so scary. Like, I have never experienced something like this. It scares the bejesus out of me to write something like that for other people. Like, how to heal people from that, I don't know how to do that. But I have like, this is like the, how do I say this, like the way, some people have fetishized torture, the way some people have fetishized something called grape fantasies, if you know what I'm talking about. The way people have fetishized the torture of a woman, the way people have fetishized the grooming of grooming of a child, all these adult relationships that have been normalized by the porn media, whatever it is. It's I just felt like all of that narrative was swallowing me. All of that narrative was basically dissolving me. And I had to like to stand up for a woman's sexual autonomy, for like to help people to stand up for their own autonomy, and to help them realize that they are not obligated to feeling a sexual pleasure, but that is something that they can get without asking for as well. It's like it's so hard to push people to that energy, or to help them see things through through that narrative, right? It's so hard to put a new narrative, or at least put that same natural narrative back in public when you have been marketed and brainwashed into this new narrative, right? And I cannot explain to you how many times I have been like, because I too have gone through a lot of things like these, right? I won't say like I have gone through FGM, but I have definitely gone through some of these brainwashing of grape fantasies and all these things. I've gone through that. And to actually to actually change this narrative, I had to like sit with all these energies, all this other narrative that was trying to belittle my autonomy or belittle my energy. And I cannot explain to you how many times I had to like literally, while I was sitting in this read, I had to endure so much BS. It was a lot of BS. I had to endure so much BS to be like, and I was just thinking, like, is this what I'm supposed to write in this read, or is this something that has been conditioned in, like, there was so much negative stuff coming through. It blew off the charts. I cannot tell you how despicable it was. I felt so like it's the most terrible thing I've ever done. Like terrible thing in the sense, it's the most terrible things I had ever experienced. Well, like not the most terrible things, but some of the most terrible things I had to like experience during this read. The amount of distractions I felt in this read, the amount of daydreaming energy, so there was so much coming through, and I had to like put it all together in a form of like putting it all together in a read format, and all those it I cannot explain to you how petrifying it was to me, honestly speaking. And this is the thing, I just feel like, like when you have been so, honestly speaking, when you have been so normalized to something light-hearted in your life, or you have been so normalized to like, because Three of Cups is an energy of celebration. You're basically celebrating with your friends, your family, your community, and whatever. You're celebrating with these people, okay? And when Three of Cups comes as like when Three of Cups comes as a card of in the sideways like this, because I often take it in clockwise direction, I'll take this sideways as reverse, so when I see it like this, when I take it like this, it just gives me that it's like there's so much lightheartedness around the concept of healing, around the concept of shadow work, around the concept of working with ourselves, that um it's really difficult to sit. Like I just feel like once you have become so once you've engaged yourself with with a light-hearted healing energy, or with you, what happens is that you end up you end up healing yourself way more than you realize. You end up validating yourself, or you end up how do I say this, like I wish I had a word for it, but it was like, unnecessary validation or unnecessary healing. That's the kind of energy I felt. It was as if I was made. I felt as if, giving a bitter medicine is so hard to people who have been normalized to the idea of a sweet medicine, especially when it comes to a sexual narrative, right? Because people have been brainwashed into thinking that sexual narrative or sexualized narrative needs to be sexy all the time. Sometimes some of the sexual content is not gonna be a crazy freak content. Some of these content can be very shadow based, and I had to like sit with that energy and heal it. I had to sit with that energy to heal it. And I cannot explain to you how terrifying it was to deal with this energy. How petrifying it was. How much, like, especially like how much I had to, like how much conditioning I had to uncondition in that reading. Like you cannot like, it's too, it's like a lot of these energy that, it just it's, I'm still feeling that energy flowing through me. It's like this sense of freedom is so hard to attain when you have been normalized and marketed to, like something so terrifying and horrific for yourself. Some of, like, it just reminds me of that Bonnie Blue case scenario, right, where she's like sleeping with 1000 men. Now I'm saying that as my experience of being a essay worker myself, right? Sorry, essay worker, I'm saying S worker, because I did, like, I was like forced into this, I was trafficked into this line. I'll say this as my experience. Nothing about it is pleasurable. I don't think, like, the only reason why you find it pleasurable is because you basically want to dissociate. You want to dissociate with your body, and you want to cope up with the reality. That's the reason why I cannot imagine someone telling me that I like all those, like, it's of course you're abusing your body. You are basically overworking your body. Your body is dissociating from and disconnecting, and it's showing in the ways you are pushing this narrative and this content, right? And I felt like such a jarring, like such a jarring ridicule to my energy when I was trying to explain this. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's just my opinion. I'm not like trying to push this opinion. I'm not trying to, condition you with this opinion. I'm just trying to tell you that this is how I think, right? This is what my thinking is. This is how I think that maybe you are dissociating with your body. You're trying to cope, and maybe that's why you think that this sexual power of effing with 1000 men could be something empowering to you, when it's actually basically you dissociating with your own, disconnecting with your own self, right? Like, it was so hard to sit with an energy to help people feel that autonomy. Okay. And that's the energy, that's the attack, and that's the kind of, like, conflict that I felt in my energy. Because I was like, dang, why am I feeling so much conflict in this energy? Why do I feel so much conflict in here, right? And that's because it's like, it's really hard to move on, or it's really hard to help people move on from an energy or from a perspective where they only like to take this sweet candies and sweet medicines for their sicknesses, for healing themselves, when, and it's really hard to push them through a bitter concoction. It's very hard to. And I'm not saying that, see, I as a tarot reader myself, I'm immature, okay? I'm not saying I'm immature. I'm saying that I'm a human. I can make mistakes, and sometimes maybe while dishing out the truth, I can end up, hurting people, or, making them feel worse than how much they have felt before. And that has never been my intention, to actually make them feel like that. But sometimes, this energy just pops out, and it just starts telling me all these narratives that it has been taught for all these years. And I'm just like, let's decondition it, right? Let's get out of this energy, right? Like, why not, let's see the world in a different perspective, right? And it hurts me a lot when such energies just try to come at me and try to hurt me again and again. And some of it, I take it as, okay, maybe it's my own karma, like, maybe I have, maybe by mistakenly I might have, hurt someone or maybe by mistakenly I must have made them feel really bad about themselves, while uh, trying to, tell them the truth of the situation. But sometimes it's just so uncalled for. This energy just felt so uncalled for. Like, I still remember I had to pray to the universe, my God, my Bhagwanji, whoever I believe in, right? And I had to pray to these deities, or these, um like, all these things around me, to give me that freedom to give me that freedom of expressing myself, to give me that freedom of putting it out there, even though it is hard to swallow, hard to ingest. And because I have never asked someone to engage with my readings forcefully if this reading is not meant for you, right? I've never asked to do that. I know for a fact that I don't dish out sweet things. I don't have that. I don't have that ability or in me to dish out sweet readings or to give them a sweet reading, because I have some as some I am someone who has gone through a lot of pain. And when I feel that pain, and when I feel that trigger anywhere around my body while I'm doing a reading, I address that trigger. I don't sit right there and ignore that trigger and go towards the sweet parts. I address that trigger. And this is the thing. That's the reason whenever I address a trigger, it brings out this energy out of me. It brings out this like this truth out of me. If any of you saw my read with Tarot by Jam in Tumblr, you'll see that collaborative read. If any of you saw that read, especially when you went to the pile number 3, you will realize that I literally had to sit right there and address a hypothetical person A in that read, because the energy was so strong. Like, it was coming so strongly and it was projecting on people so strongly, right? I had to like sit right there and deal with that energy. Only then could I pass on and talk about person B and the marriage of person B with their spouse. Like, it's like it's these energies. It's like I always ask myself, why do I even like cater to these energies, or why do I make reads for these energies? And that's when I realized that I'm not making space for all these people, right? I'm making space for people who are trying to change. And maybe when they are trying to change, whenever they are trying to uncondition themselves or decondition themselves from whatever they have been taught, it is a natural response for them to get offended, triggered, or even get angry, or get into a fight with me during my reads. I still remember I did this sex life read, right? In my other account, the Toxic Tarot Reader, I did this read where I was like, how does your eating style affect them? And I got this one comment. This one comment was like she was like, this person was explaining how they were fighting with me on an energetic level because of the amount of confrontations that I was bringing in this read. And I was like, yeah, I am. I myself, I'm really sorry that I'm bringing that confrontation. I too did not want to bring this confrontation. I too did not want to address that. I too really, maybe it is my own perception where I'm trying to, hold on to this idealized reality where I want everybody to be healed and where I want everybody to, think like a sane person. And maybe that's the reason why I'm pushing so much confrontation energy in here, right? But maybe it's my own thinking in my head where I'm not able to accept people for being an unhealed personality or something like that. But then I was like doing this reading, and then I was like, dang, this is coming, like, now this energy is being rude towards me, or let's just say that now this energy is trying to normalize abuse, especially sexual abuse, right? And I was like, I cannot normalize that in this read. I cannot normalize this sort of narrative in my read. It is becoming way too I think the word is contingent. I don't know what the word is, but it is becoming way too hard for me to hold space especially when the space is about my values, because I cannot validate somebody epitomizing anything that they are seen in. I cannot value that. I'm not someone who values people who watch, people who are who value, no, I have no issues with people who watch porn. I do understand that at one point of our life we were brainwashed like that. It takes time to get out of that cycle. It's understandable. It's a healing phase, right? We all have been there. But it's just the fact that I could not, like, I was literally made to make space for all this, yeah, again I want to say contingent energies. Like I had to make space for these really rude people, who wanted to be abusive to other people and who wanted to normalize abuse in some sort of factor and way. And it just kept on creeping onto me, and I was like, who are these people? Why are there these people like these? And then that's when I realized that it's not these people, it's the conditioning that some of these victims have gone through, where they feel as if being abused is a pleasurable experience, or being in pain is a pleasurable experience. um, there's a lot of changes that I have experienced in myself while doing these reads. They have um, yeah, they have outperformed me, honestly speaking. Yes, they have outperformed me, and the way I have thought of um, they have outperformed me and my way of thinking around certain subjects, right? They have outperformed the way I used to view sexuality and its expressions. They have modified a lot more better than, like, they have become a lot more better than what they used to be. Maybe not shorter, maybe not as shorter, but I think now they are becoming more and more concise with what they want to represent and what they want to talk about. Like, I did not know that in FGM practices, like I knew that it would be painful, but because the way human body is, I thought that after some time that pain will go away, right? I did not realize that like some women had to like sew their female organs, or they had to like castrate the female organs with certain objects, thread or metal rings and everything else. I did not know that they had to go through that, and I did not know that there were men who were forcing these women to literally, seriously, honestly, in all honesty, like these men or these women were actually made to become pregnant, or go through pregnancies in this type of gear down there, like all this infection that happens after you close up the opening of that orifice, right? It scared the bejesus out of me. I cannot explain to you how much it scared the goddamn senses within me. And I think that's the way I'll end this read, because this is the Nine of Cups, and we have, I don't know why I wanted to say Taurus. Taurus could be significant, but this is the way I want to end the reading. And Taurus is a planet of pleasure, not a planet, the sign of pleasure, the zodiac sign of pleasure, right? And this is the thing. You are either preparing yourself to get out of this addiction, or go out of this addictive state in which you used to think about life, in which you used to think about your sexual pleasure and everything. Because real pleasure doesn't involve you to go through confinement or caging your other emotions, or like disconnecting yourself from the body, or dissociating from your bodily experiences. It's about facing the truth. It's about facing who you are. Your sexual experience doesn't requires you, or your sexual pleasure or your autonomy over your sexual pleasure doesn't requires you to actually how do I say this? It doesn't requires you to change your body. It doesn't requires you to, I'm also getting there are many different modalities which you can refer to or research into. I have personally found out about orgasmic births, right? Like, I never knew that there were like some doctors would actually make women push their babies out, because of which they will have anal rupture and all that stuff. So I did find out a lot about these things, like orgasmic birth is something which was very new to me. I found out about it. I'm definitely against the putting a crystal inside your vagina. I have heard that many people have said that put a rose quartz inside your vajayjay. Not the best practice. Please don't do it. Those minerals, those chemicals in the surface of the rose quartz, and they can cause infections down your vajayjay. Okay. Don't use toys. If some toys are causing you infections and all that stuff, right? Just use things in moderation. That's what I'm saying. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that your sexual experiences or your autonomy over your sexual pleasure doesn't requires you to, change your body shape or your body size. Now, it is not like I'm against plastic surgeries, I'm against breast surgery, I'm against um all these ways people try to increase their body shape and make their curves look curvier. I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that be raw with yourself. That's what I'm saying. Be raw with the way, be like, your autonomy comes with the truth. Your autonomy of experiencing your sexual pleasure comes with you experiencing, or at least um accepting the truth of what it is. Now it gives me like, yeah, it is about being like, learn to learn to embrace yourself. Learn to embrace yourself for what you are, for whatever it is, no matter how rough or jagged you are at the surface, right? Learn to experience that love and embrace for yourself when you are still that, before you try to change yourself, before you try. Now I'm getting like, before you try any other healing modality, especially like, yeah, just try to learn to be more expressive with yourself. Learn to be more, how do I say this? I feel like many people, they go to these healing modalities to heal themselves from within, and they don't try to like sit with who they are before they come into these sessions, especially tarot reading session as well. My urge is, don't like, learn to confront those things about you. Learn to confront the thing that you already are, okay? It doesn't has to mean that like, even if you have some surgery anywhere in your body, doesn't mean that you're gonna become depressed with the fact that you're natural, you were looking good naturally, things were nice naturally. No, I just want you to accept and embrace yourself for who you are right now, and what your decisions or what you want to change in your body, right? Just come to a freaking acceptance of that, right? Come to an acceptance of that. Embrace your body for actually carrying you through all this pain, all these struggles for all these years. Embrace yourself, and then try to like, and then just ask yourself if you actually want that change. If you really want that change, you can go for it. If not, learn to embrace and hone yourself in your own body before you are trying, because that is the most important thing when it comes to expressing yourself. Our sexuality is basically like linked a lot with our sacral chakra down there, right? And sacral chakra is a chakra of creativity. It's a chakra of expressions. You should be like, hone in your expressions before you are trying to hone in your expression for hone in your self-expression, hone in whatever self-expression you have currently, so that you can actually define yourself or define that sexuality within you. Like, it takes time, it's a slow process, but learn to embrace yourself for who you are, or whatever you are, whatever body type you have, before you come to this conclusion about who you think you are sexually, right? Especially when it comes to this read that I'm about to post. Yeah, learn to be in total embrace of yourself. Exactly that. Okay, this is how I'll end my reading. Have a great day. Bye bye.